Challenges and Kisses by Ravendagger. Chapter 11. Pinkie Speaks. Featherweight's saddlebag smacked against his side, creating dull thumping noises as he slouched along, his eyes downcast. Within those bags, two tiny objects burned holes into his back. His head lifted, and he looked around at the otherwise peaceful day. Ponies were talking and chatting in the open market, bartering over various wares with good-humored quips and comebacks. His eyes wandered around, looking for a source of joy. Baby birds flittered across the sky, chirping as they played a game only they understood. A few couples sat below the wavy branches of willows, snuggling and touching hooves while attempting to ignore the glances of strangers. The sky was clear, save for a single white cloud that moved around the sun, obscuring it just enough to protect the skin of fair-furred ponies. He sighed again, feeling none of the joy that seemed so abundant. "Why is everything so complicated?" he wondered, as he tucked himself into a cool alleyway behind the apple cart, selling freshly baked apples. Amongst the almost dirty walls and a few bits of trash, he somehow felt secure. The smells of apples, rotten garbage, and warm sugar-cube corner pie wafted by him. He ignored them, focusing on nothing but the things in his pack. So Sleepy Bill likes me. His forehoof dug a furrow in the ground as he blushed involuntarily. "But I like Scootaloo, and she's the one I want to be with." Glanced at his warm bags, and the very tip of a letter poking out from beneath the lapels. "But Sweetie is nice, I guess." He turned his head back towards the road, focusing on the slow traffic. "No, it's Scootaloo I like," he told himself with a firm nod. A single filly had skipped by, a unicorn whose smile split her face apart as he levitated a paper bag overflowing with candy. She glanced his way, her beaming smile widened as her eyes locked with his. He looked away, stung by the memory of another similar filly. "Sweet Belle, she nicely likes me. No other mare would do that, would they? I mean, who would care about me? She must be crazy. But she is nice, and cute, sorta." He gulped and looked at the road again, letting his mind go numb as he surveyed the moving crowd. A rainbow-maned mare blew by, a large cocky grin adorning her face, which was partially hidden by a rainbow-colored cardboard cutout. Featherweight leaned out of the alleyway, looking through the slits of the nearby cart, to watch as he fluttered to a halt in front of Sugar Cube Corner, and barred into the gingerbread house-seat building. "Rainbow Dash," he thought, before biting his lower lip. "I should probably apologize. I wasn't very nice yesterday." Putting one hoof in front of another, he stepped out of the shallow alleyway and into the bright sunlight, feeling the warm beams as he heated his coat. With uncertain steps, he marched around to gather ponies in stalls, his eyes on his candy cane-covered goal. As the wind shifted, the thick, cloying smell of fresh pie, candy, and cakes of every flavor imaginable assaulted him, making his mouth salivate and eyes water. He approached the front door that was held ajar by an old raincoat and looked in, spotting a pink blur flowing from table to table. Looking around some more, he saw Rainbow Dash sitting at the corner with her arms crossed. The young Pegasus froze to the doorway, shifting his weight from hoof to hoof. Maybe I should say sorry as he walks out. Or tomorrow." He helped to one side and away from the entrance as a customer trotted out of the building, a bag held within his smiling mouth. Again, he looked at the bright interior before shining away and slinking around the shop. The side of the store was as gaudy as its front, almost as if the decorator had decided to assault the bright building with candy. Cookies, cakes, and gingerbread while on a sugar high. Nearby, an open window was exhaling a thin vapor of steam, carrying with it the unique smell of gooey awesomeness native to Sugar Cube Corner, while two distinct voices spilled out. Featherweight's ears perked. "I should be tired listening in. It's rude," he told himself, determined to walk on. "Oh, I was at the treehouse. Scootaloo had this thing organized about me, so I figured I'd join the party," one brass voice said as he carried outside, right to the colt's ears by the smooth wind. The shame-faced colt glipped and looked at the open window, biting his lips as he suddenly broke out into a sweat. "Aww, why didn't she invite me? I'd have bought a cake or something." Pinkie Pie's distinct voice clicked. "So, how did it go?" she asked, over the clinking of dishes on the glass counter. Featherweight lost his battle with his pride and slid towards the window, all his bass ears poking above the sill. Meh, it was okay. They really were surprised when I flew in and sat at the back. I even put one of their silly hats on. I'm telling you, their looks were priceless. You should have been there. Well, maybe I'll go next time. Didn't the meeting go well? Uh-huh. Scootaloo knows her stuff. It's almost creepy. I think she's been picking around my trash. Oh, trash picking is fun! An awkward silence filled the shop as customers stalled mid-meal. What? You find all sorts of cool things. Right. Rainbow Dash stressing the word out. Anyway, some bits were weird. Pinkie, what do you know about love? The pink mare gasped, dropping whatever she held in her hose as she rushed toward her friends. Hose clanking against the walls and ceiling. You're in love? What? Me? No! It's a little colt. You like Scootaloo or something. Anyway, I promise I dropped a good word for him with her. Pinkie's hose clamped into the corner. Her voice deepened. You didn't break a promise, did you? 'Cause love is really important, and you should never mess with it. What? No! I'm not sure if I did the right thing. Apparently, Scootaloo loves me or something. She loves you, huh? Rainbow Dash groaned before a makeshift wig flicked out the window, landing with a thump on the ground. Featherweight stared at it, then grabbed at a wing to examine it, making sure to keep his ears perked. I don't know. She knows more about me than I do. She says he wants to be me so once he grows up. The pink party pony giggled. Musical voice tinkled out of the still open window. Oh, I don't think she loves you, Rainbow. She just likes you a lot. The pink mare snorted. How does she know about Soren? I Spitfire. That's not the same, she whined. I like them, but I'm not obsessed with them much. Right. Of course you aren't. Her voice practically smiled for her. What about the colt? How was he? Featherweight cringed as Rainbow sighed. Really pitiful. I mean, he was crying and screaming and was just really, really sad. It was sort of weird. Well, maybe he was heartbroken. That's the worst kind of sad. The mayor's voice softened, almost becoming motherly. Not even a quick joke, good cake, or a friend there can help you with that. You need to either solve it with the one who broke your heart or let time heal you. She shook her head, while Bane stretching from side to side. So, you tried to help him? Well, I put in a good word for him, and I touched Scootaloo about her love for me. I didn't know what to do after that, so I sort of just left. Pinkie Pie hummed to herself. And what did Scootaloo do? She looked a little confused, but then smiled and said that as long as she could like me, she was happy. I see. And what do you think of all this? What do I think? I don't know. I'm not into that love stuff. Don't need it. All I need are these awesome wings, and I'm good. Pinkie snored again. Okay. What about your friends? Does he need those? Well, I guess I do, sometimes. You guys are awesome, too, but I don't have time for love. And anyway, there isn't a stallion out there cool enough for me. The pink pony's laughter filled the belly. Silly Rainbow. You don't choose when love happens. It just happens. Did you plan on becoming friends with Twilight? No, I guess. Did you schedule having 5 friends that love and support you? Not really. Featherweight poked an eye over the sill, watching his Pinkie Pie knowingly smiled at Rainbow Dash over a cupcake-filled glass counter. Think about the cult. He probably didn't plan on falling in love, but he did. Now, how would you feel if someone stepped between you and us? Not that good, huh? I think it's much nicer to let them see if they work for each other. Yeah, I guess. Rainbow Mare glanced at the wall-mounted clock, made to look like an ice cake. Look, I gotta go. There's a weather patrol thing. The mare stood, hair scraping back as she nodded goodbye to her friend with a reddened face. Featherweight followed her out with his eyes. Guess he isn't so brave when it comes to that sort of thing. He opened his eyes to the gigantic pink face, not an inch away from his own. Ah! His flayed out in every direction as he tumbled on his back. What? Pinkie Pie laughed, half her body spilling out the window as she clutched her chest. Did I spook you? You should have seen your face. She said within the frame, a smile splitting her face. She knew that I was there? Uh-oh. Since when did you know that you were there the entire time, silly? The mare leaned back, bustling towards the inside with a wave of her head. Come on in. I'll get you something to eat. On the house. Well, not on the house. Nobody can sit eat on the roof. That'd be silly. The mayor disappeared within. Blinking, Featherweight stood up, Lake still held by his wingtips as he pressed the window. You're not supposed to come in from the window, she chastised. Oh, right. Slowly, Featherweight made his way to the front of the shop, uncertain as he tucked his head into the warmer building. Within, he was greeted by a wave of sugary air emanating from a huge oven behind the quick-hoofed pink mare. Pinkie used a wooden pole and a few years of fine-tuned experience to handle the hot pies. With a quick shot, she deposited round mounds of glory on a nearby table, where a few customers eyed them with gluttonous eyes and salivating mouths. She served them with a big smile, winking towards Featherweight and pointing her chin towards the same counter she was at with Rainbow moments before. He stepped in, quickly moving across the brightly decorated room to the counter, hopping on the stool there, slouching his shoulders before tossing the cardboard wig onto it. Should I just leave? He wondered, giving the doorway a quick glance. His cheeks reddened. No. What do I have to lose? The last of the pies left with the snatching of customers' hooves and the tinkling of bits in a glass bowl. Pinkie Pie waved and thanked them before excusing herself and escaping across the room, beams of light flashing from her teeth. I'm finished! She said as he landed in front of them, not a sound coming from her hose as he tapped the ground. The mayor moved behind the counter, bending down to reach below it before reappearing with a glass cup that had strawberries printed on the side. With a thumb, she placed it in front of him. On the counter! He blinked at the cup. What is it? He asked, poking at the thick substance that was far from liquid. It's a cup of cake! Featherweight examined the cup, before smiling sheepishly and picking up a spoon. This is... He looked at the cup, sniffing it attentively. The strong tang of strawberries mixed with delicate aftertaste of vanilla. This smells great! Bending over the cup, the eager colt assassinated the cake with a ravenous appetite. The mayor leaned against the tabletop, watching in glee as he tore through the meal. So, you love Scootaloo, right? He choked, bits of cake splattering all over the place as he desperately clutched at his throat. Pinkie Pie giggled before turning away, returning moments with a cold glass of milk. It's okay, she said. Love can be a difficult subject. Difficult isn't always fun, is it? What's she trying to do? No, I guess not, he said, skepticism dropping through. He nibbled at the rest of the cup of cake, slowly savoring it. When you say Miss Dash again, could you say sorry to her for me? The mayor smiled again. Nope! He blinked at her. Huh? She shook her head. I'm not going to apologize for you. A responsible employee should be able to apologize for him or herself. She leaned forward, eyeing himself. Aren't you a responsible little colt? I guess I am. Good! Now how about you tell Aunt Pinkie all about your problems? Featherweight shrunk back, shoulders slumping as her eyes warily. She slapped him on the shoulder, warm eyes looking into his. Come on, talking about your feelings will only make you feel better, she said. Maybe she's right. I mean, it's not like it could feel any worse. Okay, what should I say? Just talk, she encouraged, her voice gentle and soft. He coughed, averting his eyes. So I really talk to her? No, I won't bother her. Maybe I could just say enough to leave? A long, low sigh escaped him. I like Scootaloo. She's being really kind to me. Might as well play along? I know that's silly, but why do you like her? I don't know. She's pretty. Pinkie said, finishing the last of the cake in the silence that ensued. Well, do you love all the pretty mares? Pinkie leaned in, mischievous gleam in her blue eyes. I'm a pretty mare. Don't you like me? Featherweight blushed. It's not just that. She's smart, too, and nice to her friends, and nice to me, too. He looked out the window, the same one he had been eavesdropping from moments ago. When I met her, she was just another girl in class. But then, I don't know. You had your eyes on her? She puffed. Yeah, I guess. And then I started liking her. I never did anything about it. Not until that project, I guess. Pinkie Pie hummed to herself, tapping a hoof on her chin. But why do you like her? Does he ever do something that made you fall for her? I mean, you just like her on principle? I don't know. Why do I like Scootaloo? That's silly. I just like her. Isn't that enough? just like her, and I have for a long time. So I told her, but she doesn't like me. Doesn't even care about me. All she cares about is rainbow dash and flying. But I like her. She has the prettiest wings and that smile. And she thinks like a boy, which is cool. She's the most awesomest pony in the school. Sounds like you like her for what she is. Do you have fun together? Is she nice to you? Yeah, I guess. We had some fun together. Lots of fun. At the hill, the cart, in the field, we tried to fly. That was great. Oh, and apple bloom is sweet. Anyway, she is nice to me. She's nice to every pony. The colt sank into a contemplative silence, once Pinkie Pie promptly broke. Does she love you? He shook his head from side to side, examining his hooves the entire time. Well, I can make her love me, right? You can't force love, not without getting arrested. Oh, you can be your friend. You can even like her very, very much. But if Scootaloo doesn't love you, there's nothing you can do about that. Not even after a million parties and 1,000 fun times. What about Sweetie Belle? Immediately, Featherweight began squirming on his seat. Is she nice to you? Well, I know she likes me and is nice. I think she gets me, but she's not Scootaloo. Scootaloo and her pretty eyes, her tomboyishness. Pinkie Pie got up, eyes surveying a new batch of customers, trying into the shop, with flaring noses and greedy eyes. Oh, more ponies! I'm sorry, Featherweight, but I have work to do. Just think about this. Your heart will tell you who is right for you. You have to listen to it. But a couple is made of two parts, just like ice cream. Without the ice, it's all warm and icky. Without the cream, all you have is brain freeze in the making. You need to listen to her heart, too. With that, the mayor hopped away, greeting her customers with squeals of delight and wide-eyed enthusiasm. Featherweight pushed a cup across the counter before leaning his chin on it. What does she mean? I understand the bit about Scootaloo not liking me, and I guess the bit was sweet. No, don't have time for doubt. The colt slammed on the hoof on the counter, the cup bouncing and rattling as the tabletop shivered. I have to try! One last time! I am going to ask her out! Reaching around, he unclasped the lapels of his saddlebags and pulled out the two gold and blue tickets, staring at them before shoving them back into the bag. Turning, he picked up the rainbow wig, holding it in his mouth as he pushed away from the display case. With a confident stride, he straight back. The colt trotted to the entrance of the building and into the sun, his coat glowing as he moved forward. Brows furrowed as he looked around the area, past the jovial crowds, and towards the snaky little roads that led out of town. With a huff, Featherweight hopped out of the store and trotted away, heading towards the woods at the edge of town. Ponies passed him on either side, including more and more foals, many of whom were heading home with broad smiles and ridiculous rainbow wigs. That's con. There's even a ball pit. Boo! 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 He followed the try to its source, ignoring the inviting smiles and happy cheers as he exited town. The colorful buildings were quickly replaced with a pastoral countryside. The air was still and warm, yet not suffocating, allowing birds to flutter freely across the bluer than blue sky, while the colt trotted across the plain, following a well-trodden path. Almost there, he told himself as he rounded the final corner, the trees and bushes parting to give him a clear view of the treehouse. The rickety building stood proud in the center of its clearing, framed by a thick blanket of springtime flowers and fresh blooms of the apple tree it was built on. In front of it, a ramp angled upwards into the salmon-pink building, one of its white pickets dangling from a rusty nail. A filly was climbing down the rope, a beaming smile on her face as he waved behind her. "See you, Scoots!" she called before hopping down a few steps and wandering out. "She's still there!" He thought in jubilation as he ran ahead, saddlebags banging while the wig flopped up and down. With sure steps, the colt ran up the ramp and into the room, almost tripping over the dozen stools that littered the wooden floor. At the far end of the room, Scootaloo was waving her tail around, swishing it side to side as she dusted off a blackboard. Featherweight struggled not to notice her flanks as he followed the same movement. Any and all determination the colt welled up, died in one fell swoop as she turned towards him, a beaming and welcoming smile on her smallish face, a lock of purple mane sliding in front of her bright eyes. Those eyes widened in surprise, and a quick blush spread across her cheeks. "Featherweight?" Hi, Scootaloo," he said, cotton filling his mouth as he dropped the wig. How are you doing?" Okay," she said, slowly sitting down in the center of a beam of sunlight pouring in from a nearby window. Her gaze shifted to the wig at his host. "Is that one of ours?" He looked down at the object, glad to divert his eyes from the stare. "Oh, it's yours, yeah! Rainbow forgot it at Sugar Cube Corner." He picked up the rainbow-colored piece of folded cardboard and placed it on his nearby stool. "So, yes? I was wondering if, yes?" Swallowing hard, Featherweight twisted around, flicked his bags open, carefully pulling out the 2 tickets with his buck teeth. "I was wondering if you were going with me." He spat the tickets out in front of the ground before him. "To the air show, if you want, maybe." With a deep blush, the cult turned away and closed his eyes shut. "At least I tried." The room became suffocatingly warm as the seconds ticked by in silence. "I guess that's a no," he thought, releasing a breath he was unaware of holding. "Okay, I guess. But none of that mushy stuff, all right?" she said, while one of her forehosts spun in a tight circle on the plank floor. Blinking dumbly, Featherweight's jaw hit the floor. She said yes? I'll see you there, I guess. I hope. Yeah!" Slipping down, the reddening colt grabbed the topmost ticket, spun around, flew out the building. His grin on his face as he somersaulted to a landing. "I did it! She said yes! I did the right thing!" His brows furrowed as another thought crossed his baffled mind. Slowly, he looked back at the receding treehouse. "Right?"